Good morning. It is mid-March, and today I am hiking the Woods Mountain Trail in Pisgah National Forest. And this is been a full week of pretty warm weather in North Carolina. At least in Chapel Hill, it's been in the 70s. And today it's supposed to be in the mid 60s or 70s here too. And we're at Buck Creek Gap, which is right here in the Blue Ridge Parkway. Heads over Highway 80, one of the curviest roads I've driven on in North Carolina. One of my least favorite. Anyways, from the parking area right there, I think that was a view of Singecat Ridge, which is a southern ridge coming off of Woods Mountain. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was just a swarm of flies just descending on me as soon as I stopped moving. And it's crazy because it's mid-March and it's only been warm for a week. And to think bugs are already out in full force. So it's a good thing it's a little windy. Hopefully I'll just keep moving. Right now, this is the Mountains to Sea Trail. This is the way to access the Woods Mountain Trail on the other side of this ridge. So we'll check it out. I've never hiked this trail before. You can see I've come closer to Singecat Ridge. I recently turned off of the Blue Ridge Parkway Service Road onto the Mountains to Sea Trail East, and that's where the Woods Mountain Trail begins. I didn't really get into a lot of information about the area I'm in on the previous segment because I was very much in a hurry to get away from the cloud of flies around my head. Right now it seems like they've disappeared, but it's a nice little bumpy ridge. Anyways, Woods Mountain is a massif, about 5 or 6 miles long, and we are just above we're above Buck Creek drainage, which drains into the North Fork Catawba River. So we're basically situated in between Linville Gorge to the east and the Black Mountains to the west. So we're on the Blue Ridge Parkway crest line, and I'm heading east off of it. And this is in Pisgah National Forest, and this is actually part of the oldest section of Pisgah National Forest and the oldest national forest, the first national forest to be opened in the east, I think around 1911. So basically, just north of us is the Armstrong Creek Valley, and then Woods Mountain, and then that big hump in the distance is Mackay Mountain, or Mackay Mountain, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And then to the right of that, which is to the southwest, is the Curtis Creek region, and then to the west of that is Snook's Nose and Heartbreak Ridge. And that is all the first areas of Pisgah National Forest in the 1910s, 19-teens, I don't know how to say that. And it's a largely forgotten area. I've only hiked in Curtis Creek to Snook's Nose and Heartbreak Ridge, but otherwise a lot of the trails here, if you look at a older topographic map, have all gone abandoned or unmaintained, and not a lot of people I know have hiked on these trails. You can see we're coming to a nice little ridge line, and I'm not sure what the official designation is for this area. It could be an inventory roadless area, or something like that. I know Curtis Creek and Mackey Mountain are both roadless areas, and actually all of this has been proposed recently to be a wilderness study area, so I'm not sure if it's officially a wilderness study area yet or if it is just under proposal still. So it's a lot of old trails, and actually I just came upon one of them at this intersection. I'm pretty sure right here this is the Armstrong Creek Trail, and it goes down to that valley. So another day to explore that. But right now I'm heading east all the way to the summit of Woods Mountain, which is around 3,600. And there's an old fire tower there. It's been removed, but there's remains. And that's, I think, at least 6, maybe 6.5 miles from the road. Then I gotta turn back. And I'm planning on exploring at least one side trail, maybe Haynes Eyebrow, maybe Singecat Ridge. So we'll see. This narrow ridge line, pretty neat. I found my first view of the day right as the main trail rounded a bend and the old Singecat Ridge trail went off to the right. There was a couple scramble paths to the left above the Woods Mountain Trail, and one of them led to this. It's a nice little bald spot, and I have a nice view north of the Armstrong Creek Valley, and which is pretty remote. And on the north side of that is kind of the little Switzerland area, maybe spruce pine, but in the distance, it's a little cloudy today. Straight ahead is Grandfather Mountain, and there's also a little peak to the left here of the Black Mountains, the Northern Blacks. So straight ahead is Silo Knob and Gibbs Mountain and Winter Star Mountain, but not a full view. Maybe I'll get one later. It is, after a lot of casual, moderate hiking, this last leg, climbing up Betsy Ridge towards the true summit of Woods Mountain, it's been an ass kicker. It's been almost straight up for about 500 feet, and it definitely feels higher than the elevation I'm at, which is probably around 3,500. Been getting better views through the trees. This is the first clearest view I've gotten. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a clear view of the Black Mountains, which is right through there. Oh, if only those trees weren't there, I'd get a perfect view of that whole crest line. But right here, I get a pretty decent view. Oh, look, there's a hawk. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, look at that thing soaring. Well, I think the big mountains in the distance, I think that's the Roan Highlands, I think, pretty sure. And then you can see Grandfather Mountain in the distance there, and actually Hawksbill and Table Rock. But maybe I'll get something. I'm close to the summit. Made it to the summit, Woods Mountain. And these are the remnants of the old fire tower. Not much remaining except the foundation for the pillars. There's looks like if the fire towers here have been a pretty sweet view, but as you can see, there is not a clear view right now. So yeah, I mean, it was tougher than I thought, and not a huge reward, I guess. I guess an old trail keeps going that way, but you know, I knocked off another peak off my list, and actually on Peak Bagger, no one's ever tagged this, which is kind of odd since it's right off the Mountain Sea Trail. So I know I'm not the first person to climb it, but I will be the first person to add it, which would be kind of nice. But right now, I'm going to take a break, pretty tired, eat some lunch, and make my way back. I might do a side trip on Haynes Eyebrow. We'll see what my time is. And hopefully, since I'm pretty close to it, I'm gonna drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway to Crabtree Meadows and do the 2-mile loop to Crabtree Falls, which I've never been to, and it's insanely beautiful in pictures. So that'll probably be a second video. I finally made it up and over Singecat Ridge. That was the last climb. Pretty long, slow going and tough. I didn't get any views throughout the hike of the Black Mountains that were good. This is probably the best. This is the trail just before the top of Singecat Ridge, and right before me is the Central Blacks. So on the far right, where the mountains dip out of view, that's Deep Gap. So you have Potato Knob and Cattail Peak right here. Then the next one is Balsam Cone, and then Big Tom Gap is right behind this tree limb, and then those double peaks is Big Tom and Mount Craig, and then centrally right here is Mount Mitchell, and then it drops to Mount Hallback, Klingman's Peak and Gibbs Mountain, and this pointed peak straight ahead in the distance is Pinnacle. And you can see where I parked actually in the distance. Let me zoom in. So that's Buck Creek Gap, and my car is one of those. So it's pretty cool, I can see it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting hike. Not filled with views, but a fun ridge hike. And I still got some time. It's 4:30ish, so I might head to Crabtree Falls next. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video to the lesser known Woods Mountain.